Creating a form in Django is no harder than creating a model. In fact, they have very similar APIs. So a lot of this may seem familiar to you.
All right, so I want to talk about forms, but I mentioned that the site looks a little nicer, so I wanted to show you that real quick. You can see I'm in the learning site directory, and as usual, I'm going to do python manage.py run server, all those zeros, and then 8,000. And then if well, this is what it looks like. I can refresh it just to make sure that this is what it looks like, but here you go. We've got our welcome that we had before. We've got a little courses drop down here. And if we go look at courses, we can go look at a course. Everything looks pretty much just like it did. It's just a little bit nicer looking now. A couple other things added in. Feel free to look through the templates and the template tags just to see what all has changed. But let's start talking about forms. Now, if I want to make a form for our general site, which is really what a contact form or a suggestion form would be, I'm going to put that into our learning site stub here in our learning site directory. And so I'm just going to make a new file. And since this is going to hold forms, I'm going to call it, there we go, got to type in the right spot. I'm going to call it forms.py. And inside forms.py, I need to have access to all of Django's form library. So I need to have the ability to make a form. I need to have all the widgets and the inputs and the validators, all that kind of stuff. So to get all of that, I'm going to say from Django import forms. And I have to be able to spell it correctly. And just like with our models, forms are a class. So we're going to make a new class for our suggestion form. So I'm going to call it suggestion form because I like to be explicit. And forms.form. And there we go. Okay, so all this does is this gives us some basic stuff. The form will know how to clean itself. The form will know how to turn itself into HTML or, whatever we need it to do. So let's add some fields to this. Let's go really basic for the beginning. This is just a suggestion form, so let's get someone's name. And we want to put in a char field, which that's, again, just like it was for models. I want their email address, so email field. Again, just like it is for models. And let's do a suggestion. This one's a little bit different. This is where I want them to type in their suggestion. And really, as far as the form goes, it's just going to be text, right? It's just a character field. But when I present this as HTML, I want it to be a large text area. So I need to specify what the widget is. And the widget is just how the thing is represented to HTML. So we specify widget, and then we specify what the widget is, and this is going to be forms.textArea. And as always, when we're creating something inside of this kind of structure with forms or models, we don't want to call it. We don't want that. We just want a reference to the class that it belongs to. That gives us our form. I know I keep bringing this up. I want to actually just show a side-by-side comparison. Let's look at our models here. And we've got char field and text field. And, that's really about it. We've got an integer field. The API, the way that you use the forms is almost identical to the way that you use the models. So it's really nice that Django has that consistency.
All right, so there's our form. We have 3 fields and even a custom widget. We'll add some custom validation to the form later, but I think right now we should get on with serving this form up as HTML.